Guys, so today I'm here to talk about my least favorite books of 2019. I meant to do this earlier, like the end of December, but then I got lazy and that never happened. So here we are, it's 2020, hello, and yeah, let's talk about books that I didn't like. I don't know about you, but I hate describing books that I don't like. Like plot wise, because I'm just like, I just don't care. And usually when I dislike a book, I just like forget about it, you know, and like move on. So these aren't going to be like an exhaustive summary of like what the book is about, because I don't care enough to remember. But I will tell you the books that I really didn't like. So the first book on my list, and this is in no particular order, I read Nemesis by Brendan Reeks, and I gave it 2 stars. I did not like this book. Obviously, that's why it's in my least favorites. I saw the cover, thought it was cool, and it was like, oh, this girl dies or like gets murdered every like 2 years on her birthday. And I'm like, oh, interesting. And there's a boy that also gets murdered every other year on his birthday. What a coincidence. And I think I learned, because it's also with the next book that I disliked, that I don't like books that like repeat days or like something happens every whatever. Like I just don't love when like the same thing happens over and over again. It annoys me. I don't know why. But like every book that's like a thing I've disliked. So, you know, maybe I should just stop reading those. But the 2 people, Min and Noah, basically meet up and try to figure out why they're getting murdered. And like living. This book, when I saw it on my read list, I was like, did I read this? I totally forgot that I had read this. I don't remember how it ends. I don't really remember the middle. I barely remember the beginning, because the beginning is that they get murdered. I remember disliking the characters. I remember being bored out of my mind, and like wanting to DNF it, but being like, well, it could get better, you know, like it could, and then it didn't. So yeah, didn't love it. Not gonna continue on with the series. Just, it was so boring. I was so bored. Anyway, the next book that I didn't like this year was Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds, and I know a lot of people really liked this book. I gave it 2 stars. This book had the repeating thing. So basically it's about a boy named Jack who like has a curse where he thinks he has a curse. So just like he always almost gets what he wants, you know, but never really does, until finally he meets this girl and they fall in love. And then it ends up that she dies. And after she dies, it like starts over back at like the beginning of their relationship. And it just keeps going back, you know, until the point she dies, and then goes back to the beginning. Again, I don't like things that like repeat, because I get bored. I think we went through like 2 full cycles of them like being together, then it's like a bunch of like rush, just like this happened and then I learned this in this one and this time I learned this and da da da. I was just bored. I didn't like the characters. It seemed just like more like a manic pixie dream girl type thing, because it just was like insta love, and like he just like idolized this like girl, and then he got to know her more than like she knew him, and I'm just like, this is weird. I was just bored most of the time, and I didn't like the pacing, and I didn't like the insta love. I didn't like them as a couple. So I know a lot of people love this book and we're like, oh, so emotional, so great, and I'm not that person, so didn't love this one. The next book, I am not even going to tell you a summary, because I've told it too many times. I put it in so many TBRs when I did TBRs. It's Trust Me I'm Lying by Mary Elizabeth Summer. I gave it 1 star. I finally finished this book after like probably 2 years of wanting to read it and looking forward to reading it. And ultimately, it just felt childish, right? Because we have this girl who's like raised by a con man, but she doesn't really do anything that wrong. I mean, she like, sure, like fake IDs, whatever, but like, I don't know, she's not like aggressive. She's like, oh, well, I don't want to be like my dad, you know? And I'm like, but that'd be interesting. Like, I want you to be like your dad, you know? Like, that'd be more fun. But it wasn't. So it wasn't high stakes at all. It just felt, I don't know how to, like, it just felt childish. It felt like really like young. Also, there was like a love triangle, but I really didn't like it. And I was like, you should have been with this guy anyway. Ugh. So anyway, nothing about it I really liked. So I gave it 1 star because, I think I gave it 1 star just because it took me so long to read and it wasn't that long of a book. So, yay. The next book I read is a book I also gave 1 star. And I think I had high hopes because I heard about it from Murphy because she narrated it. I was like, oh, she gave it 4 stars. Sounds interesting. It's a book called Red. Oh, I forgot to write down who it's by. It's like something, last name starts with like K, I don't even know, ends with like an F or something. I don't know. There'll be a picture right there. You'll see it. Anyway, it's a modern day Little Red Riding Hood retelling. Obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but it's like, it's a thriller type thing, like psychological thriller, because I feel like Little Red Riding Hood couldn't really be anything else but like a thriller. And I was reading the reviews for it last night, and it has like a 2 point something average star rating. There's only like 22 ratings for this. And the reviews that I did see were all like, oh, I read this because Murphy narrated it. And they all gave it like 1 or 2 stars. Because, I don't know, they're all saying like bad writing, which, true. As well as there's a lot of like telling and not showing. We also get the perspective of like the wolf, which didn't help it at all because it was just like, she thinks this, but really I'm doing this. And I'm like, okay, well, it would have been more interesting to like just get her side, you know, and be like, oh, what's happening. It's also like really short, so it didn't really like develop the relationship well enough to be like, oh, I get why she's like listening to all these really weird, creepy demands, you know, like oh, he doesn't want me to like leave the house ever? Okay, like I love him. Like, I don't, why? Like, you've met him like twice. Like, I don't understand. So anyway, pacing, writing, the actual storytelling, it's like such an interesting idea, and it's like such an interesting idea, and I want someone to write it just better. The next book is The Kissing Booth by Beth Reekles. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was bad. I gave this book 1 star. I have no words. It was really bad. I blocked it like so far out that I couldn't even tell you what happened in the book, because I remember the book being different than the movie. But yeah, I know she's making another one, probably so she can get a 2nd movie. The movie wasn't good anyway. Like, if you thought the movie was bad, the book's even worse. So, yeah. Gave that 1 star. Love that. So, the last book I have to talk about is Since Last Summer by Joanna Philbin. This is the 2nd book in a duology. The first one was Rules of Summer. Highly recommend that book. Love that book. This book made me feel how probably most people felt about the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child thing, you know, where it's just like, this wouldn't happen. Like, this is not, this is not anything close to like what it should have been, you know, just like bad characters doing things that they wouldn't do, so out of character. That was like what this book was. It was like the first one, loved the characters, so fun, like good time, feel good, and then this one came and I'm like, I'm sorry. Who are you? like this just seemed like a different book completely. So didn't like it. I gave it 2 stars. I'm not gonna keep talking about it because it's the 2nd book in a series, but anyway, so that was it, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Those are my least favorite books of 2019. I could have more, but I, you know, didn't want to keep talking forever. Let me know down below what your guys' least favorite books of the year are, or if you made a video, please link it down below. I'd love to watch it. And yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be the best books of 2019. Okay, bye guys.